Georgia is a state in the southeastern region of the United States, bordered to the north by Tennessee and North Carolina, to the northeast by South Carolina, to the southeast by the Atlantic Ocean, to the south by Florida, and to the west by Alabama. Georgia ranks fourth among the U.S. states east of the Mississippi River in terms of total area, though first in terms of land area, and by many years the youngest of the 13 former English colonies. Georgia was founded in 1732, at which time its boundaries were even larger, including much of the present-day states of Alabama and Mississippi. Atlanta is both the state's capital and its largest city. The Atlanta metropolitan area, with a population of more than 6 million people in 2020, is one of the most populous metropolitan areas in the United States and contains about 57% of Georgia's entire population. Before settlement by Europeans, Georgia was inhabited by the mound-building cultures. The British colony of Georgia was founded by James Oglethorpe on the 12th of February 1733. The colony was administered by the trustees for the establishment of the colony of Georgia in America under a charter issued by and named for King George II. In 1752, after the government failed to renew subsidies that had helped support the colony, the trustees turned over control to the crown. Georgia became a crown colony, with a governor appointed by the king. The province of Georgia was one of the 13 colonies that revolted against British rule in the American Revolution by signing the 1776 Declaration of Independence. The state of Georgia's first constitution was ratified in February 1777. Georgia was the 10th state to ratify the Articles of Confederation on the 24th of July, 1778, and was the 4th state to ratify the United States Constitution on the 2nd of January, 1788. Georgia's early economy was based on the slave plantation system, one of the first states to secede from the Union in 1861. Georgia strongly supported the Confederate States of America during the American Civil War. Georgia is defined by a diversity of landscapes, flora, and fauna. The southernmost portions of the Blue Ridge Mountains cover northeastern and north-central Georgia. In the northwest, a limestone valley and ridge area predominates above Rome and the Coosa River. The higher elevations extend southward about 75 miles, with peaks such as Kennesaw and Stone Mountains rising from the floor of the Upper Piedmont. The highest point in the state, Brasstown Butte in the Blue Ridge, reaches to an elevation of 1,458 meters above sea level. The majority of the state is primarily a humid subtropical climate. Hot and humid summers are typical, except at the highest elevations. The entire state, including the North Georgia mountains, receives moderate to heavy precipitation, which varies from 45 inches in central Georgia to approximately 75 inches around the northeast part of the state. The degree to which the weather of a certain region of Georgia is subtropical depends on the latitude, its proximity to the Atlantic Ocean or Gulf of Mexico, and the elevation. Georgia is the 24th largest state in area and 8th most populous of the 50 states. The United States Census Bureau reported Georgia's official population to be 10,700,000 people as of the 2020 United States Census. This was an increase of approximately 1 million, or 10%, over the 2010 figure of 9,687,000 residents. By the early 21st century, Georgia was among the most populous states in the country. The population was mostly of European ancestry, about 2/3, and African American, nearly 1/3. A much smaller fraction of the state's residents were of Asian, Hispanic, or Native American descent. Much of the white population has deep roots in Georgia, but compared with other states in the Deep South, such as Alabama and South Carolina, a higher percentage of the population was born outside of the state. Religious affiliations are predominantly Protestant, with the Baptist and Methodist churches particularly strong within the African American community. Atlanta, located in north-central Georgia at the Eastern Continental Divide, has been Georgia's capital city since 1868. It is the most populous city in Georgia, with a 2020 U.S. Census population of just over 498,000. The Atlanta metropolitan area is the cultural and economic center of the Southeast. Its official population in 2020 was over 6 million, or 57% of Georgia's total. English is the primary language in the state. A lot of residents also speak Spanish, Korean, Vietnamese, French, Chinese, and German. Georgia's gross state product in 2022 reached $579.7 billion, with growth of 2% over the 5 years to 2022. Businesses in Georgia employed a total of 4,900,000 people in 2022, with average annual employment growth over the past 5 years of 1.4%. The top sectors by total employment are real estate, rental leasing, information, manufacturing, while the unemployment rate across the state in 2022 was 3.1%. The state of Georgia is a fabulous place with rich history and interesting people.